Welcome back, Internet, to another Reddit story. We're back to Tales from Retail. Bad experiences working for the man, and bad experiences working with the customer. Alright, let's get into it. Woman wants homeless man kicked out of a charity shop. Short story from when I volunteered at a charity opportunity shop. The shop I volunteered at was 100% non-profit, so what little money that was made went to the homeless and at-risk youth. The shop mainly sold things like blankets, children's clothes, and non-luxury items, and the majority of the people who shopped there were below the poverty line or straight up homeless. Greta equals mean old bag in her 60s, homeless guy equals homeless guy, and me equals me. A nicely dressed woman walks up to the counter and, in a louder than normal voice, say, "Greta, you there, get off your phone and see if you have any cookie jars." I was not even on my phone. My phone was in my pocket, and I was making eye contact before she spoke. There's some on the shelf there. 3 of them. Points to the shelf not even 10 feet away. I don't want any of those. I'm looking for collectible ones. Sorry, that's all we have. We may have some collectible biscuit tins, though. Not after a stupid tin. I'm looking for vintage novelty cookie jars. Sorry, cut off by her demanding, "Go look in the back." There's no out in the back. That's all we have. We immediately put all the donated items on the shelf. I know there's a back room. And she storms off. Immediately after she walked to the back of the very small store, a homeless man walks up and asks if we could hold some items till he could afford them. The items were a blanket, a beanie, and a reusable water bottle. He said he could pay $3 now and get the rest later. The total was $7. I was about to tell him that $3 would be enough to cover all of it, when we both hear, "Why put your grubby hands on them if you knew you couldn't afford it? And you," looks at me, "why haven't you kicked him out? Doesn't the store have any class?" Greta, before I could say a thing, "You lied to me, there is a back area," points to an exit to a closed court area we share with another business. Me to the homeless guy, "Would you like a bag of bread as well? We give out free bread." He tried to give me his $3, but I told him it was free and just to be safe. Meanwhile, the lady had been switching between trying to talk over me and mumbling how she knew people that would get me fired. The homeless guy left, and I turned my attention back to Greta, but she had already walked up to the back door that said staff only and made a self-congratulating noise as she rushed through the door to the courtyard and let it slam behind herself. An important thing about that door is you can only open it from the inside. I heard immediately a muffled strand of insults and, "Let me in!" My plan was to wait 5 minutes, but less than 1 minute passed, and I could hear the other business let her through their way, followed by a phone call telling me how Greta went off at them and how she would have us shut down. Sorry for the spelling errors and bad grammar. Stories like this make me kind of think of entitled parents stories, where you're kind of not sure if this is real, but there are too many details in this story that kind of wants me to believe that this is real. You know, nicely dressed, wanted a collector's cookie tin. I don't know. I think that this may be legit. I've had some pretty cranky older people in my days of retail, but what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a real story? Woman changes her mind, and it's my fault. So I've been working at a small ice cream store in my area for a couple of months, and I generally really like the job. We have a bunch of unusual flavors, so the customers can always try the flavors before they buy them. Anyway, this woman comes up to the counter one day, and immediately I know she's going to be fussy. She asks which of our ice cream flavors contain real fruit flavor. I list every single one of our flavors that have fruit in them one by one, despite the fact they're all listed up on the board behind me. And after every flavor I name, she asks, "But does it have real fruit? I need the real thing." I spout our usual, "All of our ice creams are made using natural fresh ingredients." And she just stares me blankly. So I pull out my final card. "You're welcome to try any flavor you like before buying." This works well enough, and she asks us to try the coconut almond ice cream and the strawberry rhubarb ice cream. I give her the samples. She thinks for a couple seconds, then orders 1 scoop of each in a large cone. I go make it for her, hand it over, and she goes off on her merry way. Or so I thought. 15 minutes later, I'm helping another customer, and the same woman from before, I'll call her Fruit Lady, barges up to the counter and interrupts me. Excuse me? But I need new ice cream. This ice cream doesn't taste like strawberry at all. She waves her half-eaten cone at me, and I see that she's eaten her way through the coconut ice cream on top and has half-eaten her strawberry rhubarb ice cream on the bottom. Ma'am, I'm sorry if you don't like the ice cream flavor, but you tried it before you bought it. You pressured me into making that decision. I don't like this ice cream at all. It doesn't taste like strawberry. There's nothing I can do. I need a new flavor. You're welcome to buy something else if you like. I can get you some more samples. No. I paid for this disgusting ice cream, and I think you should replace the flavor for free. At this point, I look over at my supervisor, who's watching the whole drama, ready to step in. She tells me just to replace the ice cream and get back to helping new customers. Frustrated, I scoop a new flavor for the lady and hand it to her in a cup. You aren't going to give me a new cone as well? The cone she ordered cost $1 extra. Ma'am, I've already given you free ice cream. I have to help other customers, so if you have any more complaints, my supervisor can help you. Fruit Lady scowls and storms off with her new ice cream, stopping to smash her cone into the trash can on the way out. The glories of retail. Marketing buzzwords. Real fruit flavor actually means nothing. There could be 0% fruit in that ice cream, and as long as that ice cream tastes like strawberry, tastes like what a strawberry should kind of taste like, you can get away with saying real fruit flavor. It doesn't mean anything. It's just like milk chocolatey. Milk chocolatey does not mean the same thing as milk chocolate. Those are two different things, and they're legally two different things. If you see chocolate that says great chocolate flavor or great chocolatey taste, that means that there's no, it's pretty much vegetable oil and cocoa. Like if you say milk chocolate, I believe you can only have 3 ingredients. You can have cocoa, milk or cream, and sugar, and maybe some miscellaneous like coloring and stuff like that. But as long as you say milk chocolate, then it's real chocolate. If you say chocolatey, it's suspicious. Anyway, beyond that, so this lady tries a rhubarb ice cream, and she probably didn't hear or think that rhubarb was going to be any different than just regular strawberry. So she probably took a bite of the rhubarb strawberry and got a piece of strawberry. It was like, okay, it's strawberry. And then when she ate the coconut, she got down to the actual rhubarb strawberry stuff and was like, wow, rhubarb is gross. Because rhubarb is gross. The only way to make rhubarb taste good is by like pumping it with loads and loads of sugar to make it taste like nothing like rhubarb. But anyway, so this lady comes back in and says, hey, I need a new ice cream flavor. This is gross. The kid should have just said, whatever, here's your new ice cream, whatever. But this is where the loyalty in retail comes in. This kid was fighting and saying, hey, you're getting free stuff. But in all actuality, the business wants him or her to give away that free stuff and just make the customer happy. That's one thing that it took me a super long time to realize in retail, is that don't fight for the company. The company will like fire you at a moment's notice. If the company wants to save a customer and just get free stuff, just give it to them. Within reason, of course. But then this lady was like, well, what about my ice cream cone? Aren't you going to give me a free ice cream cone too? That's kind of pushing it a little bit, but again, customer's always right. Just give the customer whatever. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that extra scoop and that ice cream cone probably cost that business, I don't know. I don't know what the prices of ice cream cones are, but it has to be less than $1, less than 50 cents, you know, to like save a customer from coming back and just to like make sure she doesn't get you for 50 cents. Like, just give her the stuff. Who cares? Don't say yup. I have now left my retail job at a gift shop, but I just need to get this incident off my chest. During the 3 years I worked at this place, I had 4 managers. Manager number 2 was a nasty woman who nobody liked, and who was very judgmental about us doing our work exactly the way she wanted us to. This happened around 2 years ago. So this was a somewhat busy day, and I was on the register wearing an unzipped company hoodie over my uniform. Yes, this is important. While I was ringing out a woman, we had a nice conversation about something, and I enjoyed talking to her. I finished ringing her up, and she thanked me and said, "Have a nice day." And I said, "Yep." Suddenly, a hand grabs the hood of my jacket and yanks me backwards. It was my manager, who had been watching behind me. She hisses right in my ear, "Don't say yep." She then let go and went right back to watching me. I was so scared that I was shaking for a while, but I had to keep ringing customers until she went elsewhere in the store. Paranoid all the while that I would say the Y word and get into more trouble. Thank God she left not long afterward. As with many other retail stories, I forget about personal retail stories until I read stories like this and I'm like, oh yeah, something like that happened to me too. So there were two incidences. The first thing was when I worked at Walmart in the pharmacy. This was towards the last part of working at one store before I transferred to another one. I had to get out of there. So whenever we talked to anyone like another clinic or someone on the phone that wanted to speak with the pharmacist, we couldn't say, oh yeah, let me get him for you, or let me toss you over to him, or my favorite, yeah, let me wake him up and see if he can help you. You know, just try to lighten the mood and do stuff like that. We had to say verbatim, yes, let me put you on hold and I will transfer you over to my pharmacist. One moment, please. We had to say exactly that. Like, they took all sorts of personality out of the pharmacy. We had to act like robots. So that's the first thing that happened that made me want to transfer out of that pharmacy. The second thing was they wanted us to sign people up to receive text messages when their prescriptions are ready, which is fine. You just ask them, hey, did you want to receive text messages, blah, blah, blah. But no, we couldn't ask them. We had to say, what number would you like us to text when this is ready? And we had to say exactly like that. So one day I'm talking to a patient and I say, did you want to receive a text message when we have the prescription ready? Oh yeah, let's go ahead and set that up. So we set it up and I got her phone number, his or her phone number, to receive text messages. My manager was right behind me and she said, Chris, you don't ask them what phone number to put in. You say, what number would you like me to add? And at this point, I was on kind of thin ice. I was like on the verge of bursting. The rage was building inside. I was trying to do what I could to appease this whole new process. And I just sighed and I just looked at her and said, hey, I did get her to sign up for it. And I was totally verbatim. This is the exact way I said it to her. I wasn't like trying to like make myself sound better or anything like that. I really said it like this. I said, hey, but I'm really trying to adjust to this whole new thing. It's difficult to switch from one set of routine questions to another one. But hey, I did get her to sign up for it. And my manager said, well, you don't ask, you tell. And after she said that, I walked out of the pharmacy. I had to get out of there because I was going to explode on this woman. Like, I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm trying to adjust to this new thing. You would think that in this case, the ends would justify the means. Like, it's a roundabout way of asking the same question, but I still got this person to sign up for this text messaging service. Shouldn't that count for something? I know I'm trying to adjust to this new whole way of asking how to do different things, but can't you see that I'm trying? And she just said, nope, you're not doing it right. So I had to walk out of that pharmacy. I went outside. I called the nearby other pharmacy, another Walmart, and I just said, hey, I know you're looking for a new tech. I'm ready to transfer. So I had to get out of that store. The new store I went to had other issues, but at least I didn't feel like I was a robot working at that store. I could at least have some sort of personality. Thank you again for joining me on another Reddit retail story thing. If you like what you saw or heard, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, then I'm sorry. Subscribe if you haven't, and share it with a friend. And I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, later kids.